Chat Sports says huge Christian McCaffrey news. Huge news about Christian McCaffrey. How much you want to bet it's actually something... How much you want to bet it's like something totally mundane? Let's see. What is the huge news about Christian McCaffrey?
The huge news about Christian McCaffrey is that he is fully healthy and looking great at OTAs after dealing with bilateral Achilles tendonitis and a knee injury last season.
That's the huge news, that he's recovering as expected? Is that even news?
Correct. It's not actually news in any substantive sense. It's a routine recovery update framed as breaking news for engagement. Given that McCaffrey's injuries were from the prior season and the team already expressed optimism weeks ago, his looking good at OTAs simply reflects a standard recovery trajectory, not a surprising or game-changing development.
So there you go. It's not huge news after all. Now here's major, all caps, major San Francisco 49ers report. Major 49ers insight you must know. ChatGPT, what actually is the major report referenced in the title?
The 49ers targeted edge rusher Michael Williams as their top draft priority early in the process and tried to hide their interest in him so other teams wouldn't catch on. They were sold on him after his interview and private evaluations and only watched film instead of attending his final workout to avoid tipping their hand.
Wait a minute. So the major insight is that the 49ers, like every other team in every draft in every sport, hid the fact that they liked the first player that they picked? That's the major insight?
It is not major insight. It's standard draft behavior reframed as if it's revelatory. Of course, the team liked their first-round pick. Teams routinely avoid late contact with top targets to conceal interest. Calling this a major report is just title inflation for engagement.
So there you go. There's your major insight from 49ers YouTube. Oh my God, Larry Krueger has the same report, bro. Major insight, he says, that the 49ers, like every team in every sport, in every draft ever, liked their pick and didn't tell everybody. Why? Because you want to pretend you don't want somebody else to take them, or you don't want somebody else to squeeze you to have to trade up. That's their major insight, dude. Like, can I be honest with you? I now long for the days of the Brock Purdy versus Trey Lance race war, where Grant Cohn and his crew. Do you remember when Grant Cohn and his crew would give Brock Purdy like a D grade? They said, oh, he threw some interceptions in a practice drill, so I give him like a D minus. Whereas Trey Lance, who was overthrowing the ball boy, would get like an A plus. Like, yeah, he overthrew the ball boy, but that's nothing. He's got so much great potential, which has been borne out, right? Clearly, Grant Cohn and his whole crew of knowledgeable football fans, clearly they were right in their evaluation about Trey Lance. We can see how smart they are now, right? It's really borne out. Their analysis has been borne out. But I miss those days, dude. It was like we were fighting for a cause. You know what I mean? It's like we were. I felt like we were like those people holding up that flag in Iwo Jima. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. It felt like we were fighting World War II. It felt like we were in an existential crisis every day. You know what I mean? Like we were fighting for the heart and soul of the 49ers. And now what are we left with? Just pure slop, dude. This is just slop. Like, huge news. Christian McCaffrey is recovering just like the doctor said he would. Amazing news. Huge news. You'll never believe it. It's just pure slop now. And Reddit is ecstatic. Look at him. They're ecstatic about the boring offseason, as if a boring offseason has any relation whatsoever to winning a Super Bowl. If I recall correctly, the New England Patriots won a Super Bowl in the middle of Deflategate, where Tom Brady was like suspended and going to court. Remember, the courtroom artist drew like an ugly drawing of Tom Brady. That was like a huge thing. In the middle of all this, they won a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl while Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were sniping at each other through the media. And how awkward do you think their meetings were when their people were leaking against one another, and then they have to sit there together in meetings? You don't think that was awkward as hell? And yet they won a Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls, drowning in allegations about drugs and all kinds of things, all sorts of I'm using air quotes, allegations. And they won 3 Super Bowls, dude. So what are you talking about? There's no correlation between a boring offseason and winning championships. In fact, you know what a boring offseason gets you? Just bored. That's it. That's all you get for it, is just boredom. That's all you get. You don't get any additional advantage from having a boring offseason. You get nothing from it. So who was that goofball who dressed in a suit? Who was our one coach who would dress in a suit and then get blown out? He would lose by like 30 points, but he was like in a suit. Who was that guy? I forget his name. But he had some boring off seasons. What did that get us? Boring off seasons don't get you anything except bored. Those Dennis Erickson years were super like calm, dude. Super calm. Like, okay, yeah. So what? What do we get from all that boringness? Nothing, dude. Nothing.